A man who is successful with women. Do you feel like you can be 100% yourself and still be interesting to women? Or to what extent do you have to play a role and pretend to be liked by them? I just want to read honest and sincere answers. It seems to me that no woman has ever loved me just for who I am. To get them even a little interested in me, I have to pretend to be someone else. Voiced with the support of Avia Sales. I've tried everything from one extreme to the other and everything in between. And, unfortunately, I've had the most success when I've been the least sincere. No one needs the real me, neither women nor employers. Usually, when I'm not myself, women can't get enough of me. When I'm genuine, polite, reserved, with a sense of humor and the right values, I ask girls out on dates, we have a nice time, I don't rush things, I ask permission to kiss, and all that, and then they don't even reply to my messages. But when I act fake, a little rude, using dark humor, girls literally get into bed with me on the first date. It's crazy. I thought respect was important to people, but it turns out the opposite is true. When my wife and I met, we had both just come out of terrible relationships. On our first date, she told me, "No games, just be yourself. It'll be cool if it works out, and if it doesn't, maybe we'll stay friends." 12 years have passed, and it's been the best experience of my life. I've never had to hide anything, pretend, or be someone else. Words can't express what a liberating feeling it is to just be yourself. I stay 100% myself, but at the same time, I try to show myself in the best light. You know what I mean? Some people think that any desire to please or present yourself well is already insincerity. As if you're only real if you behave like you do on boring trips to the store. But that's nonsense. Adapting your behavior to the situation is not a lie, but basic social skills. There's a difference between acting confident when you're nervous and outright lying. There's a difference between talking about what you both are interested in and hiding your hobbies. Simply put, putting on your best outfit for a date is not insincere behavior. It's still your wardrobe, and you have the right to choose what to wear and when. In short, it's important to be the best version of yourself, not just be yourself, as everyone likes to say. It's easier for me to be myself, I don't need to pretend. If she can't accept me for who I am, then she's just not for me. I don't play a role, but I have to force myself to avoid certain behaviors that I know will definitely turn women off. And I also have to do certain things that I understand are important to maintain interest. So, in a sense, I'm definitely not 100% genuine. The reality is that life itself is not completely authentic. We must be willing to learn and change, no matter how strange or uncomfortable this transformation may seem. I used to have no luck with women at all. Then I started doing a lot of insincere things to fix it, and then I realized that I could be even more sincere than I was at first, and it still works. But I had to go through that intermediate fake stage to get to this level. I'm 100% real, but I don't reveal everything right away. If she can't handle my facade version, then she definitely won't get access to the excavations. After a certain age, many men who show their true selves don't get any response from women at all. You go to a bar, pretend, talk to a stranger, pretend to be interested to get to know her better. That's also pretending. But these are all quite reasonable things. Be yourself is great advice for some men, and completely useless for others. If you're an introvert or just a reserved person, you'll have to force yourself to do things you wouldn't normally do just to participate in some kind of communication. I remain 100% myself, but at the same time, I understand that not everyone will like who I am. Some people don't like orange Starburst, and that's okay. But if someone opened a pink wrapper and found an orange candy, they would be angry. I'm paired with my wife because she understands who I am and she's okay with it. But in my life, I've met a lot of people who told me that I need to change. And being with someone who doesn't like your normal personality is, in my opinion, hell. I think everyone hides something a little at the beginning. On the first dates, you emphasize your best qualities and hide the bad ones for now. The main thing is not to lie about something important. But let's say pretending you have good table manners is probably okay. Although it won't last long. If you're together, the person will see your downsides sooner or later, and if he stays despite this, then maybe everything will go smoothly. And in general, it's better to be yourself as much as possible. You shouldn't radically change your personality for someone, because in the end you will still return to your true self, unless you are very young or have a personality disorder. My wife and I are avid gamers, although you wouldn't know it by looking at us. I didn't think my main hobby would come up on the first date, but when it happened, I honestly said that I love video games, and it turned out that she does too. If either of us had hidden it, who knows how things would have turned out. Exactly, I like chess, video games, and I'm in the gym. But I won't immediately tell a girl in detail why One Piece is better than Naruto after meeting her. If I'm asked about hobbies, I talk in general terms, and if she becomes interested, then I delve into the details. When you say successful with women, do you mean players or just guys in healthy relationships? Because this is where the difference lies in the ability to be genuine. I've never been a player, but I've had several long relationships, 4+ years, and in them, I've always been myself from the very beginning. A couple of times I tried to pretend to be someone else, and all of this led to various toxic situations, but when you meet the right person, you can just be yourself. The problem is that not all true selves are equally attractive. Some people just have a more universally appealing personality, not to mention appearance. Sometimes you have to go through a series of trials and errors before you meet someone you can be real with. But I can say for sure, real relationships rarely start with falsehood. I've never lied about my personality, but yes, I definitely held back some aspects of myself until I got to know the person better. Chris Rock has a cool monologue about this. Yes, in the initial stages, men exaggerate and embellish everything, and they do it as much as they can. But women do the same thing. Makeup, heels, hair extensions, flirting, laughing at your jokes, and all that. I've been in a relationship for almost 5 years. Yes, I really do play a role somewhere. Well, about 10%. I don't really care about family gatherings, but yes, of course, I'm happy to see your relatives. It's a mutual process. What you give, what you get. My true self is someone who plays board games with friends, gets drunk, and throws their beer out the window if they lose. Women don't like that. I think it's their mistake, but they have the right to decide how to live their lives. From the very beginning, it's all a game, a mask, but it gradually falls off as you get to know each other, and then it doesn't. If you both relaxed, took off your masks, and still love each other, you have a chance for a long and happy relationship. I can't be 100% myself. I think my wife would have a panic attack if I honestly said that part of me wants to sleep with every skinny young girl I see on the street. Although I have no intention of doing so, we all have several facets. When I meet a new woman, she sees the best version of me, of course, but it's still me. So, answering the question, no, I don't think I'm pretending. We all play different roles depending on the environment. Think about how you behave at work, with friends, with parents. It's natural, everyone does it. I don't think many people are ever completely real even when they're alone. You just need to find your dating version, the personality you want to be in a relationship with, and that you can maintain without much effort. Most likely, it will be similar to the role you play among friends. I remain 100% myself, but that means not everyone will like me. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I scared away a very religious girl just by being myself. I also behaved the same way with friends. Some people just don't like that, and that's okay. As long as you're happy with yourself, everything is fine. I don't even understand what it means to be yourself in this context. For some, it means, I don't want to make any effort towards others. I only care about myself. That is, not taking a girl to a restaurant, not reducing game time to 4 hours or less a day, not engaging in foreplay. After all, it's all supposedly insincere. And for some, it's pretending that you like opera, noisy bars, stuff, or vice versa, a sober lifestyle. I've never been insincere in the context of the latter, but I did put effort into relationships, and no woman considered it a problem. In fact, being yourself is the only right way. The problem is that if a person is not initially attracted to you, he will recognize any attempt to please. Why? Because he has already met people who behave naturally in the way you are trying to imitate, and they do it better. So it's a losing strategy. Instead, be yourself without hesitation, and you will attract those who like exactly that version of you. And when you find at least 1 or 2 of these people, you will gain confidence, and it will become easier. To improve your chances, please do the following. Maintain good hygiene. Wear clothes that fit. Start exercising. I was a typical Asian gamer and I'm fan for 10 years, and it totally sucked. Half boy, half man. I had a girlfriend who loved me, but I still felt worthless. I didn't understand who I was, what my values were, what I was capable of, or who I could become. I couldn't find a job. I felt useless. When I was in my early 20s, I broke up with my girlfriend. I went abroad alone and lived there for 3-4 years, which were full of adventures. I met people from all over the world. I gave myself a chance to start life from scratch. I started working out. I went back to school, found a job. I took care of myself, started saying yes to life. When I came back, I started playing tennis, swimming, gathered a company around me, a kind of clan. I got in shape with a new approach to life, new social skills, and a refreshed appearance. I unlocked my potential and became very successful with women. It even worked on dating apps. I met other guys, smart, hardworking, with good jobs, but boring and without life experience. I shared my experiences with them, and they started to succeed too. I am married and happy. I think I met a woman who would have loved me as both a nerd and an athlete, but I would never have met her, and I wouldn't have believed she could have loved me if I had remained that same geek. Years later, I learned about people like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate and realized that I had discovered the ideas of self-care and self-improvement on my own. I don't agree with their radical conservative views, but I believe that solitude on the road, travel, and reflection are also incredibly important for the formation of personality.